After the death of Boromir, and the separation of the companions, Frodo and Sam journeyed together to destroy the One Ring. Pippin and Merry was kidnapped by the orcs. Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli were together and in pursuit to rescue Merry and Pippin from orcs, and Gandalf was assumed dead by the companions. Frodo and Samwise Gamgee, having separated from the rest of the Fellowship, navigating the rocky, treacherous terrain on the outskirts of Emyn Muil. Lost and desperate, they struggle to find their way to Mordor. The night is filled with tension as they sense a shadowy presence stalking them. It is Gollum, the creature once known as Sméagol, who has been trailing them, drawn by the One Ring. In a tense confrontation, Frodo and Sam manage to capture Gollum. Bound and pleading for his life, Gollum promises to guide them to Mordor. Frodo, showing unexpected compassion, decides to trust Gollum despite Sam's vehement objections. Gollum swears on the ring to help them, and they set off, with Gollum leading the way. Meanwhile, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are in relentless pursuit of the Uruk-hai who have captured Merry and Pippin. The three companions, now dubbed the Three Hunters, traverse the vast grasslands of Rohan, tracking the orcs. Their determination is palpable, driven by their sense of duty to their friends and their mission. They run tirelessly, braving exhaustion and the harsh elements, pausing only briefly to rest and search for signs of the hobbits. The scene shifts to Merry and Pippin, who are enduring a harrowing journey with their brutal orc captors. Bound and mistreated, they witness the savagery and infighting among the orcs. The Uruk-hai, led by Uglik, are under orders from Saruman to bring the hobbits to Isengard, while the Mordor orcs, led by Grishnak, have their own conflicting orders. This internal strife creates a volatile and dangerous situation for the hobbits. During a nighttime skirmish between the orc factions, an opportunity for escape presents itself. Merry and Pippin, using their wits and small size, manage to slip away and flee into the dark and foreboding Fangorn forest. There, they find themselves in a mysterious and ancient woodland that feels both protective and menacing. As Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli continue their pursuit, they encounter Éomer and the riders of Rohan, a formidable group of horsemen. Initially, Éomer and his men are suspicious of the strangers, wary of intruders in their land and the ever-present threat of Saruman's forces. However, after Aragorn explains their quest and their desperate search for their friends, Éomer, recognizing their noble intent, provides them with horses and crucial information about the orcs. He also shares news of recent battles against Saruman's forces, hinting at the growing peril in Rohan. Guided by Gollum, Frodo and Sam traverse the haunting Dead Marshes. The landscape is eerie and treacherous, filled with stagnant, murky waters and ghostly lights. As they pick their way through the marshes, they see the faces of fallen warriors beneath the water's surface, remnants of a long-forgotten battle. The journey is perilous, and Gollum's dual nature is constantly evident as he wrestles with his desire for the ring and his begrudging loyalty to Frodo. After enduring the hardships of the Dead Marshes, Frodo, Sam, and Gollum finally reach the Black Gate of Mordor. The immense, fortified entrance to Sauron's realm is heavily guarded, and the sheer scale of the gate makes any attempt to enter seem impossible. Frodo is determined to press forward, but Gollum, terrified of being caught, persuades them to seek a less guarded route. He proposes leading them to a secret entrance that he claims will be safer, though his motives remain suspect. In Fangorn Forest, Merry and Pippin encounter Treebeard, the oldest of the Ents, a race of giant, sentient tree-like beings. Towering over the hobbits and exuding an ancient, natural power, Treebeard is initially cautious, unsure if the hobbits are friend or foe. However, after hearing their story and realizing their innocence, he becomes a protector and friend to Merry and Pippin. He takes them to the Entmoot, a rare gathering of Ents where they deliberate on their response to Saruman's destructive actions. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli venture into Fangorn Forest, following the trail of the hobbits. They are astonished to encounter Gandalf, who they believed had perished in Moria. Now transformed into Gandalf the White, he is more powerful and resolute. Gandalf reveals his resurrection and newfound purpose. He urges the trio to ride with him to Edoras, the capital of Rohan, where they must aid King Théoden, who is under Saruman's malevolent influence. And so Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli arrive in Edoras, the golden hall of the Rohan capital. The city is subdued and tense, under the shadow of Saruman's influence through Théoden's corrupt advisor, Grima Wormtongue. Gandalf confronts Wormtongue and frees Théoden from Saruman's spell, restoring the king's vitality and clarity of mind. Théoden banishes Wormtongue and prepares to defend Rohan against the impending threat. Realizing the danger posed by Saruman's army, Théoden decides to evacuate his people to the fortress of Helm's Deep, a stronghold that has never been breached. The journey to Helm's Deep is fraught with anxiety, as the people of Rohan, including women and children, travel under the constant threat of attack. Gandalf departs on an urgent mission, promising to return with reinforcements. Frodo, Sam, and Gollum are captured by Faramir, the younger brother of Boromir, and his rangers. Initially, Faramir is suspicious of the hobbits and their strange companion. The revelation of Boromir's death and his attempt to take the ring shocks Faramir, but he shows restraint and wisdom, unlike his brother. He decides not to seize the ring and instead offers the hobbits provisions and guidance, recognizing the importance of their mission. Gollum leads Frodo and Sam to Cirith Ungol, a perilous and secret mountain pass that promises a hidden entry into Mordor. Unbeknownst to Frodo and Sam, Gollum harbors a sinister plan to betray them. They navigate the dark, labyrinthine tunnels and encounter Shelob, a monstrous spider. Shelob attacks, paralyzing Frodo with her venom. Sam fights valiantly, wounding Shelob and driving her away, but believes Frodo has perished. At Helm's Deep, the people of Rohan prepare for a desperate defense against Saruman's massive army of Uruk-hai. The fortress's defenses are put to the test as the enemy assaults the walls with relentless force. The battle is fierce and harrowing, with moments of heroism and despair. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the defenders, led by Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and King Théoden, hold out against the siege. Just as hope seems lost, Gandalf returns at dawn with Éomer and the riders of Rohan, charging down the hill to break the siege and rout the enemy. Meanwhile, the Entmoot concludes with the Ents deciding to take action against Saruman. Led by Treebeard, the Ents march on Isengard, unleashing their wrath upon the fortress. Merry and Pippin, watching from a safe vantage point, witness the sheer power and determination of the Ents as they wreak havoc on Saruman's industrial stronghold, destroying his war machinery and dismantling the very foundations of his power. The Ents, enraged by the destruction Saruman has wrought upon their forests, channel their anger into a devastating assault, flooding Isengard by breaking the dams, and rendering the stronghold useless. In the aftermath of the Battle of Helm's Deep, Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, and King Théoden ride to Isengard. They find the once imposing fortress in ruins, transformed by the Ents' assault into a flooded, tree-filled wasteland. To their surprise and relief, they encounter Merry and Pippin cheerfully smoking pipes amidst the destruction. The hobbits recount the Ents' victory and the downfall of Saruman's domain. The reunion is a moment of joy and amazement, contrasting the grim realities of war. Gandalf and the company then confront Saruman, who remains defiant and unrepentant in his tower. Despite his defeat, Saruman refuses to surrender or acknowledge his wrongdoing. Gandalf, demonstrating his new authority as Gandalf the White, strips Saruman of his status